We started here at Vienna, then we have flown this route, something like this. There we have Budapest, here over Hungary, and then Serbia now, and so on and so on. So I think very direct we are flying here to no big curve here around any country or something like this. So yeah, as it looks, we fly very direct. So maybe I don't have to make a cut, because you see there already the top of descent is, and we are flying with 4 times faster than normal time, so 4 times for a simulation rate of 4. So yeah, I don't think that I need to make a cut, so I don't need to stop the recording, fly without recording, and then start the recording again. So yeah, now I want to tell you something about the airport we are flying to which we are flying today, so the airport of Skiathos. So yeah, here I have an article out of Wikipedia, and I will now read out some extracts out of this article. So, Skiathos Airport, Alexandros Papa Diamantis, India Alpha Tango Alpha code is Juliet Sierra India, and the ECAO code is Lima Golf Sierra Kilo. It is an airport on the island of Skiathos, Greece, so in Greece, and its 5.341 foot runway is able to, it's 5.341 foot runway, so this is the length, so around about 1.7 kilometers, is able to accommodate aircraft up to the size of a Boeing 757-200, so the largest aircraft which is able to land on this airport because of the runway length is the Boeing 757-200, and the runway is characteristic as short and narrow. Because of the uneven terrain on the island of Skiathos, Skiathos Airport was created by reclaiming land from the sea between Skiathos Island and the smaller island of Lasurita, effectively joining the 2 islands into one larger island. The runways at Skiathos are characteristic as short and narrow, and as such, airlines typically require their pilots to undergo additional training for operations there. So, the runways at Skiathos are characteristic as short and narrow, and as such, airlines typically require their pilots to undergo additional training for operations there. Landing may only be performed by captains, so if a captain is taken ill an inbound flight, then it must be diverted to an alternative airport. So the co-pilot is not allowed to land there, only the captain is allowed to land at this airport. So, and if this happens that the captain gets ill during the flight, airports like usually Volos, Nea Anchialos, which is the closest facility to accept passenger flights, is then used to land on. Additionally, the runway downslope on runway 20 leads to an illusion of a shorter runway, as the southern end cannot be seen when close to the ground. When flights approach runway 02, as we do today, from the south, the flight path is to the east of Skiathos town and over a coastal road just outside the airport boundary. Due to this, it is a very popular runway to watch flights landing and take off at close quarters. Many videos have been uploaded to YouTube of this. Skiathos has often been dubbed the Greek St. Martin, or as I said, the second St. Martin or European St. Martin. Some flights departing Skiathos for British airports, so to fly to Britain, cannot take sufficient fuel to complete the trip without stopping at an intermediate airport to refuel. So they, so they need to, before they get to Britain, they have to land on any other airport, I think near to Skiathos, to refuel, so that they have enough fuel then so to get to their destination. And they need to refuel because the limiting length of the runway, so that they are not too heavy during takeoff, so that they can rotate early enough. So that's why they cannot be because that's why they can that's why what was it what I wanted to say, that's why yeah, that's why the aircrafts cannot be loaded with enough fuel to get to the airports in Britain. Aircraft such as the Airbus A320, Airbus A321, which we are flying today, and Boeing 737 typically stop at Thessaloniki International Airport to refuel, so it's very close to Skiathos. The Boeing 757-200s, however, are usually able to carry sufficient fuel to operate directly to British destinations, such as London Gatwick. So, when I understand it correctly, the 757-200s don't have to land anywhere after they have taken off at Skiathos, when I understand it correctly. But I think at Skiathos it isn't possible to refuel, so there isn't any fuel for the aircrafts to load the aircraft, so they can't refuel the aircrafts at this airport because I think there isn't any fuel. So on one occasion, Air Italy used the Boeing 767-200 on the flight from Milan, making this the largest aircraft to have used the airport. The longest route operating to Skiathos is operated by Thomas Cook Airlines to Newcastle. The route was operated non-stop by the Boeing 757-200 until summer 2014, when it will be replaced by a brand new Airbus A321, necessitating a stop in Cavalla on the return. Yeah, and however it should be mentioned that both Olympic Air and Cyprus Airways make use of their larger Airbus A319 and Airbus A320 when operating direct flights from Athens International Airport, Thessaloniki and Larnaca. So yeah, these two airlines is very short distance from the capital of Greece, so I hope I pronounced it correct. Athene, I don't know. Yeah, to Skiathos, so they don't need to. What was I want to say? They don't need to. No, now I did forget it. No problem. Now, yeah, as we see, we are now getting close to our top of descent. Only 18 nautic miles are left, and as you see, we have wind from the back, so this helps us a little bit, so we can fly a little bit faster with ground speed of 470 knots and the true airspeed of 443 knots. Now 441 knots, 442 knots, so round about this. And yeah, here we are at the moment, and here we have Skiathos, so we fly here and then anywhere I think we fly like this and then make a turn or something like this, we will see then. So yeah, where do you have the capital of Greece? I think it should be here. It is. Where? There it is. No. Yes, there it is. There's the capital. So we are now at the moment. Are we already? I think we are now crossing the border to. Now we are over Greece. So we are flying at the moment over. Let me look it up. The English name for the land. So and we have Macedonia. We are at the moment, and I think here's the border of Macedonia and Greece. Yeah, here it should be, and now we are flying over the border and getting now over to Greece, and this is a view of a passenger here out of his window. I like this view very much. It's the greatest, where you can look into the engine and to have the wing, and yeah, it's great. So we're getting closer to our top of descent, so we are now typing in here our altitude we want to descend to. So it is 250 feet, I would say. So I hope it isn't too, so we aren't too high. If we should be too high, we will fly enough around and then descend a little bit, and then we can do the visual approach. Yeah. So, and I hope we can do a great visual approach. As I said, I didn't do a visual approach of beginning at 2,500 feet the last 2 months or something like this. So yeah, long time ago since I did the last visual approach from this height. So the descent preparation checklist can be started now. So much. So THMDH, I don't know what to do there, so we quickly put on the co-pilot. So checklist is completed. Oh, I think, yeah, we only need to, then you have to type in the radio, so the decision height, and we initiate it. So we now set the to below, and as you see now we are descending the moment with 3,000 feet per minute, or a little bit more now. So we can zoom in a little bit, and there we will fly. So it's only about 80 nautic miles are remaining. So can we see it already? It should be this island there, this small island. That's Skiathos. So we should see it. I think this one is it. So I hope we are not too high now, and reduce now a little bit already, so to 240 knots. And simulation rate to 2 times. So oh yeah, 80 nautic miles. And as you see, I think this D here shows us that we at this point will be at the altitude of 250 feet, but it's too late, I think. So we type in that we want to descend with minus, so we want to descend with 1900 knots now, and with 1900 feet per minute. So this should be better, or better, let's say 2,000 feet per minute, so that we are at the good altitude early enough. So I hope it is early enough. And yeah, there I think at this point the runway, so we do fly left around the island and then make a right turn to get in front of the runway, and then hopefully I at a good altitude. And as you see, here are nearly no clouds above the island, and we have great visibility. Everything is fine, so we can do great visual approach today. So we are at 2-4 flight level 24,000 now. So we passed 24,000 feet, and I hope everything is fine. But we are a little bit fast, so the last, maybe after when we pass the 5,000 feet, we should reduce the vertical speed, so that we can reduce the speed also. I think we can also type in 200. The only option we have, I can show it. Can show you the option. We can use the ground spoilers, so maybe put them out at half, so you can see, you hear the sound of the wind passing there, the ground spoilers, and here you can see that the aircraft is now reducing the speed. So, and here out of the view of the passenger, out of the window here, you can also see the spoilers here coming out of the wing, but you shouldn't extract them more than half, so not full, because that's then too much, I think. So we're now getting closer, and I hope we are at a good altitude at 250 when we are reaching the altitude then. So yeah, and it's a good option reducing with the ground spoilers. So, but you see, it's not very much how we can reduce, but better than nothing. And this is also done in reality, not only here. If you think I do this because I think this is possible, but I already have seen this in reality, as I flew with some aircraft set to brake. They used the spoilers during the approach, not when they touch down. Yeah, then they really use them, but during their way they were in the air. So we can also extract the set flaps 1 in just a few moments, I would say. We are descending. We can activate the approach phase now. Confirm it here. You can see 144 knots is our landing speed. And we are very high at the moment. There you can see already the airport and there the runway. A little bit. Here it is. So I hope everything will work fine. And we can set flaps 1, I would say. So the aircraft is reducing a little bit. So we're now reducing 200 knots. So we didn't pass 10,000 feet. So I hope. Now it looks. I'm not quite sure whether this will function. This will work fine, but we will see. We will see. So we are reducing. Can now type in 180 knots. And the spoilers are set. Maybe we can set them a little bit more, but I think it's not so good, not such a good idea. So full, because only during landing they should be set to full. The free as I set them now, maybe it's no, not full. Let's put them back to half. So we now get to the first officer seat, and here you can see we are now passing here the airport, and there we will approach then. So now getting back to the virtual cockpit, to the captain's seat. Oh, maybe